Hello, good night, and now I'm going to explain the stages of language learning. In the first slide, we have two students speaking in other language, but in this case, I gonna explain all the stages of language learning in speaking and listening. In the next slide, we have um, the stages of speaking. The first stage is silent receptive stage. This stage is about when the student only listens and observes to catch all the sound. And we can see in the information that also a student have to get the rhythms, pronunciation, and the structures of the language. Most common of this stage is when we begin to study in this language or other language. We try to get the knowledge and then put in practice with music or formally. Then we have formally speech stage. This stage is about when we memorize vocabulary, and verbs, and some phrasal verbs or idiom to increase our speaking. And also, we use music to increase our speaking and get new vocabulary. Then we have the speech emergency stage. This stage is when we express our basic ideas, for example, our daily routine, what we do the last week, or some grammar, and we can improve our speaking. Then the next stage, the stage is speech fluency stage. In this stage, we make and we express themselves, for example, when we talk with other person and something like that. And advanced fluency stage is when we are advanced and we have fluencies in our speaking. We can manage all the grammar speak all the grammar, and we can increase and speak more fluency. Then I'm going to talk about stages of language learning and listening. Our first stage is recognition stage. In this part, we begin to recognize the knowledge of the words, the pronunciation of the word, and try to make the pronunciation of this word and we can pronounce it. Then we have comprehension stage. This is when we understand the spoken language. For example, when someone asks you something and and we ask we ask to the person because you understanding the question or what the person said. And the next one is understanding connecting speech is when we have a natural listening and then we practice with our natural speaking, and we try to have more fluency when we are speaking. Then the last one is developing learning strategies. In this strategy, our listening and our comprehension it's based in a context, and we identify the most important information to give the message or to transmit what we want to say. And the last one is advances listening proficiency. This stage is when we understand when we understand the people advance, and when we make a good conversation and good fluency using our listening and our speaking.